Can you tell me that, okay, when you were born, could you tell that, okay, this is exactly the steps I'm going to take to make my life this way? You couldn't. You took one step at a time and then you moved on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing amazing. Well, today I'm going to talk about something which you might resonate with. And before I do that, let me start with this quote by David Whyte. Actually, there's a poem, beautiful poem, um, Start Close In by David Whyte. And I'm just reading one portion of that. So here it goes. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take. So the topic for today is start with the first thing, close in. And why I thought of talking about this topic is because many a times, if you're like me, and if you want to do things in a very good way and you want to actually be very sure that what you're doing is the right thing to do, and by the end of when you finish that, if you want to be very sure that it is successful, then you will be haunted by this confusion of what do I do? What do I start with when I am not clear as to where I'm heading to? Does it sound confusing? I think it is confusing. I made it confusing. Let me simplify. Have you wondered why you are unable to take that first step towards a goal, which is scary and exciting at the same time? Well, you are not taking that action. It could be that you want to be very sure as to where you're heading to, what exactly you're creating, and what would this lead you to. But you know that you want that. Okay. So there is a gap in what you want, that experience of creating that, but you're not taking that step because you don't know how to get there or how to reach there. And so what you'll do is you will spend a lot of time and energy in figuring out how to do, what to do, and start making a plan. But that plan will not come in because it's an unknown path, and you cannot know everything. There has to be a mix of known and unknown. And so that's why if you don't want to be stuck, it is important to start close in, meaning whatever you have at this point in time, or whatever you know and is true for you at this point in time, you must start with that. Start close in, that small step. But that step becomes very, very daunting for us to take because we want to take a couple of steps and we just like, okay, step one, step two, step three, step four, A, B, C, D. If we follow that, this path will lead us to that. And so we get trapped in that. But our ability to have the courage to take that first step, which we do not want to take because we are not able to see and foresee the things very clearly, it is foggy at this point in time. That's the thing you need to lean on to get where you want to be. When I was in school, I had this friend of mine who's a great artist. And whenever he used to make something, what he will do is he'll take a blank sheet and start drawing something. When he's starting, you will not even know what exactly he's trying to make. And many times I have asked him, like, what are you making? And he will say, yeah, I'm making something. Let me just take let me just let whatever idea is coming to my mind, I put it, and then let's see what masterpiece I can create. And he would go that way. And when he is creating, if I look like a critic and observe, I'll not be able to make out anything what he's making. To me, it would look like some crazy, weird stuff, has no head and tail, nothing, and he's like making something. And then after a couple of minutes, or some time, when you come back and you'll see, wow, this is something amazing. And this is exactly the same thing. If you want to create a masterpiece, if you want to really create something that you're scared of, at the same time excited, that's when you will not have a path. you know if you already know that this is exactly what I need to get there, then that is not a scary dream, and that's not your masterpiece. It can never be a masterpiece. But if you want to create a masterpiece, then you have to be willing to take that first step which you are resisting to take. And so start closing with whatever little you know. As you take one step, the door will open. Then get to the next, the next, the next, just like placing the plank one by one. And along the way, be willing to try out new things, be willing to make mistakes, be willing to clean it up, be willing to fall down, be willing to experiment, be willing to um, test your own capacity and not be stringent, like having blinders and just going like this, but open to experiences. And that's when you live life. And that's when you create masterpiece. And something is wrong with me, actually, of late, pronunciations. Anyway, so that's the way to creating masterpiece. And isn't it same for life too? Can you tell me that, okay, when you were born, could you tell that, okay, this is exactly the steps I'm going to take to make my life this way? You couldn't. You took one step at a time and then you moved on. You created. So have the courage, trust yourself, and surrender. Be open to new ways. With this, I would like to leave you here with, and do let me know if you have any questions or if you would like me to answer anything. Start closing. Take the path that you're most scared of. Start with the first and the smallest little step. That is true for you at this point, and allow yourself to expand and explore in that journey. Until next, take care. Love you all. Deep bow.